So let's do a very short 101 on the history of US Iranian relations and Iran in the region. I promise I'll go pretty quick. I think it's important to note, without going through all of the history of this area, that Iran was once called Persia, and it had a vast empire. It's got a proud history and culture, and we cannot discount that as we think about what's happening right now and about the future. So, in modern history, the United States propped up a puppet regime in Iran before the Iranian Revolution in 1979. That revolution toppled the American-backed government there and installed a religious, theocratic, authoritarian regime that's been hostile to America ever since. So look up American hostages in Iran and go watch the movie Argo to get some history there. Since that time, Iran has cozied up to some of our adversaries like the Soviet Union and Russia and now China. At the same time, though, we in the United States have also supported separatist movements within Iran. We do not like the regime there, and the regime does not like us. We are a liberal democracy. They're authoritarian. Authoritarian regimes do not like liberal democracies, typically. Since the United States has been involved in wars and had troops in places surrounding Iran, like in their neighborhood, such as Afghanistan, Iraq, and Pakistan, these are all places where the United States has been in the last 2 decades. Well, that hasn't made Iran very happy. Iran has kind of sensed that they're sort of boxed in by America. And as a response to that, along with some other issues, Iran's desire to be a powerhouse in the region, for example, that country has used its power in asymmetric ways, like supporting proxy groups in Iraq, Syria, Lebanon, Gaza. This is where many here in the United States would call these groups sponsors or terrorism. This is where many here in the United States would call these groups terrorists. And many here in the United States would call Iran then a state sponsor of terrorism because they support a lot of these groups. Iran has funded some of these proxy groups, and those proxy groups go out and use the tactics of terrorism around the Middle East and some around the world. And many of these groups have killed a lot of Americans. Also, Iran has felt threatened and has wanted to build a nuclear weapon. Why? Well, it's all about regime survival. The regime there sees that states or regimes that get a nuke are not invaded. Take North Korea, for example. North Korea gets the bomb and doesn't get toppled, the regime that is. Whereas Gaddafi in Libya, no bomb, he gets toppled. Saddam Hussein in Iraq, no bomb, what happened to him? He got toppled. How about the latest, Bashir Assad in Syria? No bomb, guess what? He gets toppled. So the thought is from the Iranian regime, hey, if we can get a bomb, we're good. No one's going to mess with us. And we have to note that a major adversary of Iran in the region, Israel, already has a nuclear bomb. So there's that. The Israelis, of course, do not want Iran to have a bomb because the regime in Iran has continually communicated publicly that it wants to wipe Israel off the map. So the Israelis rightfully feel that Iran having a bomb would be an existential threat to their existence. This is why Israel is attacking Iran's nuclear complexes today. But more on nukes and that attack next.